What's up, traders? Welcome to today's Equity Empire Chart Analysis session. When most investors are throwing darts, we're looking for clues in the charts. My name is John McHugh. I'm a former Wall Street analyst, hedge fund manager, and independent trader for the better part of 20 years. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the chart of financial services and products company Block Inc., symbol XYZ. And when we take a look at the chart, we're simply going to be looking for two things. One is the direction of the trend. And two, are there clues as to price points where the big money might be patiently waiting to buy or patiently waiting to sell at higher prices? So let's get right into it, folks. All right, first thing we're going to do is assess the trend. And the way we identify the trend is which direction are the highs and lows moving as they move from left to right. And you'll notice that as they move from left to right, the highs are moving higher. As they move from left to right, the lows are also moving higher, and that's the definition of an uptrend. So XYZ, even if you just eyeballed it, you can see that XYZ is in at least a short-term to intermediate-term uptrend. And when we're in an uptrend, we'll simply be looking for a pullback into a support level for either a quick bounce trade or for a lower entry price for a longer-term position. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for support levels first. And to do that, I'm simply going to change the time frame from daily to hourly, and we'll see a couple interesting looking support levels. So I'm gonna zone out three different support levels to give myself or yourselves options. So how far would you look for a price pullback before you'd be interested in doing a trade or taking a longer term position in XYZ? And actually, there is a support level that we're coming up to. It's an hourly time frame support level, okay? So that's not going to be as reliable as a higher time frame support level. But if you're looking to do faster trades, you want to go down lower in time frames to find your support levels. So we're just about at a support level. You can see we were rallying, we pulled back, found a little support, continued higher, and this wick right here came back and touched that level. So I'm going to move that support level to just about where we closed today. Okay, so there's one support level from 67.77 to 66.98. And what I'm going to do here is there's a support level just below that. So instead of drawing another support level just below that, I'm going to combine these two support levels and call it one support level. Okay, so we've got a support level right there between 67.77 and 65.84. Now let's go down a little bit lower to see if we can find another support level. Now you can use this level here, which is basically just a retest of the level just below it. So I'm going to go slightly lower for my next support level down to this area here. Can actually go to the low wick there. So we have another support level in the 63.66 to 61.31 price range. Now let's go up and to the left to see if we can find resistance levels. So you could, we'll get into the trade structure in a moment, but let's go find a resistance level. So we're going to go up and to the left. It's got to be above that wick there. So above that red line, go look for a resistance level. And we don't have one all the way till up here, which is very promising in terms of profit potential. Okay, so our first resistance level that we need to be concerned about is all the way up in the 82.85 price range. Okay, so let's go see if we can construct a trade now. There's our resistance up near 83. Two support levels to consider for a bounce trade. If you want to get really aggressive, you could you could have a buy limit order at 67.77. That means if that'll get you filled on your entry somewhere below 67.77, or you could wait for price to pull back somewhere into the zone, so you could put a buy limit order anywhere in the support level, or if price were trading in between those two, the upper and lower boundaries of that level, you could always place a market order at any time if you so desired. So let's go look at the reward to risk potential of that trade, however. So if you were to place a buy limit order at 67.77, you might get filled tomorrow morning if you were going to do that. Protective stop just below 65.84. Target all the way up just in front of our resistance level. And that trade setup right there has almost a 7-to-1 reward to risk ratio. Okay? And that's wonderful. What that means is for every $100 worth of risk you would take, you could have a reward potential of north of nearly $700. Now, if you think price might pull back a little more substantially, you could do the same kind of trade setup just on this lower level, have a buy limit order at 63 66, protective stop just below 61.31. Drag your target all the way up to the same price target, and that trade setup would have about a 7.5 to 1 reward to risk ratio. Okay, so this is the way the trades would play out. If you wanted to go for the upper level, ideally you'd look for something like this. Quick pullback, bounce off that level, and gradually work our way higher up to the resistance level. Okay, now if you wanted to be a little more patient, a little more price sensitive, you think you might get a bigger pullback, or maybe the broad market pulls back dramatically, and that might bring block down with it. You'd be looking for something that will look more like this. More dramatic pullback to 63, 66, bounce off that level before working its way higher to our same price target, that resistance level that we identified. So 2 trade setups to consider here in symbol XYZ Block Inc. Okay, so let's wrap up the session. Hope you enjoyed the session. I'll be back each day this week for more technical analysis. In the meantime, wishing you the best of luck in your trading and investing, and we'll see you soon.